Look, if you don't want to make that change within yourself, it's not going to get better. This might not apply to everybody, but if you feel like you're rock bottom, okay, and you're hoping for a better day, but you literally are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's a definition of insanity. You are provided with a choice every day. You are provided with multiple choices throughout the entire day. Take that choice, make that change. You've identified a problem. You're saying you're rock bottom. Got it. You're there now. There's only one way, and it's up. So change your mindset. Use that choice and go a freaking different direction. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out.
Day 3 of retirement. As an infantryman, I was asked if I could clean the sink. So let's look at this. Definitely some kind of grime on there. And I open up the cabinet. What do I use? Nothing comes to mind. Like my experience is my skill set. Nothing. Wait a minute. Everyone knows this is how you clean everything. Infantry, retired.
You can just take it.
Would you like a military discount?
Do you offer one?
Honestly, cap of the day.
Thank you.
CC's Pizza is the county fair of restaurants. You go in there, you look around, you feel a little bit better about yourself, then you realize that you're in there too. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, let's be honest. You know, not everybody's made for this life. It's scary. You know, you gotta jump out of a plane while it's moving. That's not natural. It's high, it's fucking wet outside sometimes, it's snowy, it's hot, it's dry, it's shitty. Who the fuck would want to be airborne? Best job I ever had.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 111 of the Trash Talk Out. Guest today is Kasie, Army veteran, founder, and CEO of Sigma Forces. And today I'm joined by the Big Earl and VTT's Monica. What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday.
What's up? Wait a minute. So she's
Happy
a veteran?
Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Sunday over there, huh?
She's a veteran? You mean her husband's a veteran?
I'm a veteran.
She's a veteran as well.
Yeah. I'm joking with Monica because we always... That's
I know.
one of the things we always,
because women aren't veterans, right?
Women aren't
We're
veterans,
just spouses,
when you go get your free meal, they're like, "Where's your husband's ID card?"
Yeah.
All the time. They thank him for
it.
his service.
Or when you call them female veterans, even worse. Like she's just a veteran, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we.
That
like
actually
to
doesn't
say.
bother me. I don't care.
Yeah, the Throw Punch Monday girls like it.
Yeah.
So that
I don't care about that. I don't care about
it.
that. I just don't like it when my son gets preferential treatment at the VA and he's the biggest tree hugging hippie dippy, right? You know, I got a granola eating tree hugger for a son. There's no way he would serve. So
I can talk to him, Monica. You know, we'll see.
yeah, you could talk till I'm blue in the face.
It's been a while since you had a shameful recruiting plug, so you got to get it in there.
Yeah. Occasionally, Nick, you know, at this point. Well, anyway, yeah, let's kickstart it with a conspiracy. So we're actually going to play a video for everybody that's tuned in right now. We got about 11 viewers right now. If you haven't seen it, Monica or Kasie, just watch the video real quick because it's not going to show for us. And then we're going to talk about it. So, Chris, go ahead and play that, please. Hey,
it's playing.
It's playing. Yeah, no worries.
Dave, I don't remember what it was you saw.
What's that, Monica?
I don't remember what it was you saw.
A really, really weird light. I'm going to talk about it.
That's what we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you have to see it. You have to watch the video. And you have to say, all right, Dave,
I think I may have. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
You mean you didn't watch what we posted?
Not today.
Ooh.
Monica, you're fired.
Fired.
Damn it.
There's
another paycheck I'm not getting.
We're bringing Kevin back.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
We love our Celtic warrior.
We need to talk about Kevin. Kevin's a hot mess right now.
Oh, we had an intervention with him the other day.
You said you were going to invite me.
We just did it, Dave and I.
Okay.
So, I mean, feel free to call him. I'm sure he needs to hear it from a few other people.
He's been calling me at like 2 a.m. and leaving rants.
Hey, what's up, fam? It's your boy Faceman VTT. As you can see, I'm wearing the Only Infantry, one of my favorite shirts, okay? Cop that at shop.veterantrash.com. All right, so everybody just saw That's not why I'm on here, though. I'm going to briefly talk about it real quick again. And I want to make this clear that I'm very, when it comes to UFO, UAP phenomenon, it's kind of a big deal to me, okay? Because my first experience or encounter was when I was like 10, okay? I was in Germany. No drugs were not involved. Alcohol was not involved. That didn't start till I was like 13 or 14. Okay. And the alcohol, it's Germany. You can drink at an early, at an early age. Anyhow, we were walking my buddy's dog in the field and we saw this light in the sky and there was no sound and it just sat there and it was with me and like four other buddies. And we all saw this light and then it would go from one spot to the next, like really fast. And then it would move again to the next spot, move to the other spot. And then it just shot off and was gone. So after that, I was like, holy shit, that wasn't a plane. That wasn't a helicopter. And ever since then, I've been really big into the UFO thing. So the other night, obviously the video you just saw, I was laying in bed with Megan and we saw this light. Okay. So my backyard looks out to the white tanks. There's a big desert out there and the mountains and everything. There's no lighting out there. So you can always see the stars out here. Clear as day. Okay. At night. And it was this light, this orb or whatever the fuck it was, just hovering. And it was extremely low compared to where the stars normally are, okay? Because you can like literally see the mountains. Obviously in that video you can't, but you can see the mountains in the back. And it was just hovering there for the entire time. And then we filmed it. We zoomed in. Obviously the moving was our hand moving, okay? The orb was still in one spot. And then it just fucking disappeared after 10 minutes. And I've never, ever seen anything like that. And Arizona is a hotbed for UFOs and UAPs. Now, I'm not saying it was gray aliens, okay? Could have been some crazy technology. We have Luke Air Force Base 10 minutes from here, whether it was a drone or what the fuck ever. It was definitely something that I don't know what it was, so it was a UAP, unidentified area phenomena. Kasie, what's your take?
Okay, so I just have to give you guys a little background.
All right.
I believe in aliens, okay?
Hell yeah. This is why. We are friends now. Yeah.
Okay. Because from a very young age, okay, my grandmother, this super quiet, just humble lady, barely ever spoke. She had an experience. And the only thing she pretty much ever talked about was this experience. So if you heard Betty Lee talking, she was telling us about her UFO experience. Okay.
That was the abduction, right? The Betty Lee and her husband. There's a
Oh.
Betty Lee you need to look up too. There's an abduction
I need to look
story.
that
Yes,
up.
yes,
Oh.
yes.
Maybe she's stealing the story. Oh my gosh. You know, my grandmother has passed away. I don't want to like taint her
This whole time
existence,
she's been stealing. She's stolen
She's
valor.
been what? Okay, so this just changes everything. This changes
Yes.
everything for me.
Yes.
No, okay, but pretending you didn't just say all that and okay, I gotta.
You just ruined years of your
You
childhood.
just ruined everything. No.
Fine.
Okay, but so either way, I still believe in it. Okay. She's described this experience to me from a young age. She was very, very adamant that it was true, and so from that point, I mean, she talked about this since I was 2. I believe in it. I've had other people, you know, throughout my life have experiences I never had, but I believe them and their stories. Your video, I think I don't know. The pattern, you saw the pattern, kind of like the grid pattern. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. That looks really different to me.
Right. And that's just the quality of the phone. You know what I'm saying? That's the quality of the phone. Because I'm taking an iPhone and then I'm zooming it in. Like if you take an iPhone and you zoom it into a star, it doesn't look like a star anymore.
Those are the light bursts.
The pixels and whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So that in itself is, you know, I don't know. For me,
I can see you try to hype me up watching it with your music and stuff. Like I see that you're really trying to get me to believe it. Like I felt it. I felt it, but I don't know. I'm going to go with 60%. It was something like alien-ish, but I don't know.
So you were saying it was okay. I mean, like I said, we do have Luke Air Force Base here. There's obviously a lot of stuff that goes down in New Mexico, you know, Nevada, like all those places. So you're saying maybe an alien spacecraft? Maybe. Okay.
I think if you would have left the music off, because I felt like you were trying to sell me on it. I really felt like you were trying to persuade me. So you know, I don't want that.
I wanted the X-Files
to give it to me real. You know,
TikTok,
I don't want any
TikTok didn't offer that.
No effects,
Kasie,
okay?
he was in a boy band, so he has that showmanship background.
He's actually a rapper.
Yeah.
Oh God, let's not go there right now.
It's a German rapper.
I'm retired now.
Yeah, he's number 2 in album sales, right behind Hasselhoff.
My days in Germany will always remain a mystery. Okay, good take. Man. Good take. Thank you. Monica, what's your take?
Your mom has told me everything, by the way.
Oh, I'm
sure. The girls calling and all that stuff. Yeah. So
he's the face man. He's the dreamboat, you know?
Yes.
So
can't keep our eyes off you.
Yeah.
I think that it would be pretty arrogant of us to think that we're it. And if we are it, that's pretty sad. So, like, if we are the
scarier, isn't it?
Of this universe, yeah. So,
like the thought that, and I didn't mean to interrupt, and I actually did, so I'm sorry, Monica. But the thought of, I rather believe that there is something instead of believing that this is literally fucking it. It's just us. Like we are the hope for the entire.
I don't want us to just
constantly
be
expanding. Right.
Yeah. It's like people who think they are the pentultimate experts in a field and they have nothing left to learn. You know, they're automatically full of shit. Yep. So I think definitely there are possibilities out there. I don't think everything that we see, every video that's been posted is an unidentified anything in the sky. Probably a lot of them can be explained away, but definitely I think there's stuff out there. I want there to be people or things out there.
Yeah. And it's become a lot more prevalent. Like we talk about it a lot more. Like I mention this every time we bring up the UFO thing, that it's on every news channel now. You know, 5-6 years ago, if you would have talked about this stuff, people would be like, you're crazy. Like Nick used to call me crazy. And I think Nick swayed a little bit. Well, and I'm sure you're going to talk about the thing you saw in El Paso, but now you kind of a little bit more leaning towards, whoa, that is kind of weird. But it's talked about, CNN, Fox News, whatever, you know, that big incident that occurred in California. Like it's openly discussed now. It's like they're trying to desensitize us to bring in even something crazier, you know, who knows?
Well, what if the aliens actually created like iPhones? Because they were actually upset that people weren't paying attention to them. So they actually wanted better clarity. They wanted people to actually see them. Like, no, you guys, like when we come down and talk to you, like show everybody.
That is the craziest.
They actually added the music to his video.
Right.
They're like, okay, I don't like no effects. We need effects. We're gonna drop in this sound bit for you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So what I saw, Monica, you don't know, like it, whatever could have been maybe just.
No, it could have been something, some being out there. Definitely.
Do you think it was aliens?
Alien?
Who knows?
I don't know if do we actually have the technology to move things quickly and hover that low to the ground? I mean,
Yeah, we got
with
jets
things
that
that-
can hover. We've had that since like the 80s.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, and again, like I say it all the time when Dave brings up aliens. Anybody who watches the show a lot, I say it every time. I'm sitting outside my backyard in El Paso, and this thing comes just skyrocketing across the sky, like,
Mm-hmm.
like amazingly fast. And then all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, 2 fighter jets.
See, that's insane.
And it's like, were the 2 fighter jets protecting it,
escorting it, or were they chasing it?
Escorters, yeah.
Like, was it a Russian like spy plane or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? You know, but who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's a searchlight.
Okay. Elaborate.
Like, you know, the big searchlights.
Yeah.
I think somebody was out in the desert having fun.
Hmm.
You know, like this is why I know that I'll never be really, really money rich. I'm already rich, you know, in spirit and family, but like I'll never be really, really money rich because God won't let that happen.
Yeah.
That's the shit that I would do. Like I would go out to the middle of the desert with like 4, you know, big spotlights and just fuck with people.
Oh yeah, wear a
like,
Bigfoot costume or whatever. That would be awesome.
Like you gotta have $30 million to bring all that shit up to the desert. Like I'll do it. Like let's go. You know, so I think it's probably Elon. I think Elon's out there, you know, messing around with people. Because,
Well, he's an alien.
Well,
he already looks like an alien. He fits
So
the bill.
He 100%
He's a big squishy blob with a giant
We
head.
probably shouldn't talk about Elon at all because we'll get canceled. Shout out to Elon.
Yeah, we like you, Elon.
We love Elon.
Again, Elon's either the greatest person ever or the Antichrist.
Yes.
So it's one of the.
Are you gonna get a chip? Are you gonna get a chip when they come out?
If it helps me do kung fu like Neo, yeah.
So, have you guys heard about the Neuralink? Neuralink?
Mm-hmm.
Like the initial one is supposed to help, like I think for like blindness or like if you can't walk, you're able to walk again, hearing and all that stuff. I saw it on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was like talking about like future ones where you can learn like foreign languages and everything.
That's
and then
crazy.
Joe Rogan like popped the question. He was like, so what about the people that don't want to get a chip? They're going to be left behind, you know, because now you're like at this next level of thinking, you know. And he's like, well, I'll make them affordable. Who the fuck's going to get a chip though? They already put one in a pig, and the pig's fine apparently.
Is that why they have the 30-minute orgasms or whatever?
But like you said, Nick, could be the Antichrist. Everybody gets this chip, and then you're fucking done.
You just flip the switch. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That and the COVID shot, right?
Crazy times.
Nick will have his compound underground in El Paso.
No need to. So
we'll go to Mars with Elon too. Anyway,
I'll hang out with the cartels. They got guns and money.
All right. So Nick's take it was a bunch of teenagers, kids, whatever, in the desert, fucking around, doing some stuff.
Those rich people.
Yeah.
Rich people messing with you. So I think that's just what it is. But yeah, well, I'm excited because Buddy was supposed to be on the show. So he's now missed 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But you know,
he's in Europe.
He's in Europe. I think he got the World Cup fever, and now he's all of a sudden he's this big Euro guy, and he's going over there. But he's not going to make it, so that's fine. But we have the great Monica who has stepped into his place. You know her on the page as VTT's OE254. All right, she is the communication link between everybody. So, what is your soapbox today, Monica?
Oh man! So my soapbox today is people specifically on Vet Trash Talk who want to shoot down other people's comments just specifically and only because they have not seen or experienced it. People are so arrogant. It drives me crazy. It's actually one of the reasons my ex-husband is my ex-husband. He never didn't believe anything that I said unless he actually saw or experienced it. So everything that came out of anyone's mouth was bullshit. Open your eyes, open your ears, do your own research, but don't just shoot people down because you didn't experience XYZ in the Army between 87 and 94 and shoot people down and say, you're an idiot. Who the hell are you? How are you even on this page? You're not a veteran. you're a piece of shit because I didn't experience what you're saying.
Right.
So we saw, Nick and I were laughing this morning about some stuff specifically relating to this.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I shut down
I'm a
comments.
Facebook terrorist though, buddy. If you're watching,
Yes.
I forgot
Yeah.
his name
Wait, yes.
already. But if you're watching, like I have zero. Like once I smell blood, it's over.
It's horrible.
Casey, there was.
What's
I don't need to
happened?
go into the whole thing. There was a female veteran who made a post yesterday, and I wound up shutting down the comments on it because it just got kind of nasty.
She was a tanker in the 70s.
Mind you,
right?
there's 70,000 people
Yeah.
on that in that group.
Yeah.
But we
So
get a lot of
I
crazy
mean, you
stuff.
can't monitor everything. So
Yeah.
once in a while, we just shut down comments to just squash it. She said that she was, what was it, the 70s or the 80s? I can't remember now. Worked in a tank. Don't know if she was a tanker, but she worked in a tank apparently. I know there are exceptions to every rule. I know that people served in all sorts of faculty, all sorts of arenas, male, female, combat, non-combat. But there, it became an argument, usually becomes an argument with a bunch of misogynist dudes who just can't handle the fact that women may have entered into their arena.
Sure.
And some people went bonkers on it. Then this morning, a guy made a post in support of and in defense of said woman, but then I believe he went a little bonkers in the other direction.
If he just would have stayed with the first sentence that he wrote, that post was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then he went off into his own version of the army, and I was like, "There's a lot of holes in that story, homie." Like,
yeah. So it's it just gets a little crazy sometimes, and I do appreciate, especially the male veterans who come in and say, hey, relax, you guys. This does happen sometimes. Women did serve next to us. Relax. They're not trying to like shrink your balls or anything,
Okay, yeah, I'm actually experiencing that a little bit this week, getting bullied online a little bit by a male veteran. And because I'm a female veteran, doing something similar, but possibly better. And it's just stay in your lane. Like, why even bring that attention to you? Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I think even as a professional, like if you're doing that as a professional, it just really speaks volumes to your character, and you're only harming yourself as a business person.
Well, why not build each other up? Like we always talk about, Nick and I always talk about it. Like we've had so many guests on the show that sell shirts just like we do. They do podcasts. Like we want everybody to be successful. Like if we just all got together and work towards the same goal, then we'd be good to go. But there's so much beef, especially in the veteran community, between different groups, different pages, different companies. Blows my mind.
Yeah, I've said this before on multiple.
I'm a win-win type of guy, Like I want everybody to win.
Why? Yeah, you're 100% right, Dave.
Dave just wants to buy the world of Coke.
Right. And it's like I've said this on multiple books of Earl is that, talking about building people up, we don't, in any minority group, and veterans are a minority. All right. So yeah, we're not a minority by race or creed, but by job. Right. So, and then in that minority, there's other minorities. There's people that were single corps. There's people that were logistical corps. There's people that were in the infantry. Which is the majority of the army. But like, it's like not all veterans are the same. Right. So when you say as a veteran, it's like easy. All right. Cause no, don't do that. All right. And it's like, and again, the firework thing, I love it. All right. Everybody knows I love making fun of people who don't like fireworks, and I was like, but again, I'm not saying the fireworks don't bother you, but don't drop that fucking sign saying because you're a veteran that you can't listen to fireworks. Because hey, I'm a veteran and I'll watch the videos from last year. I'll stand right over a bunch of fireworks going off. I don't care, right? Like I love them. But no, Monica, you're 100% right. And on the page, it sucks that we have to explain it to people. But again, like they've said, 70,000 people. Like you're going to get wackos. All right, you're going to get people who they're so blind and arrogant, like you're talking about, that they only see this direction. Okay, and when somebody like Kasie or somebody like Monica does something, or anyone does something different or even better, like I don't know, capitalism, the free market, make things better, right? Like all of a sudden there's hate. Why? Like why? Like support them, you know, like do
That's
what you can
absurd.
to help them.
Do you
So,
get
yeah.
hate on the page about conspiracy, like going against the things that you believe in or have experienced?
We stay out of anything like political on the page just
Yeah,
for that specific reason.
VTT official
Yeah.
is purely a comedic support group that turns into seriousness when it has to.
Yeah.
So there's zero politics, you know, like if you bring up
Yeah.
politics, it's like, hey, that doesn't help our cause, right? Like now, again, there's a post on there today from Ben about, you know, the Afghan that's arrested at the border who worked with the special forces, right? And it's calling to tell your congressman. That's not being political. That is, you know, if you agree with this, call your congressman. All right. It's not saying that one person's worse than the other, or, you know, Obama sucks or Biden sucks or Trump sucks. Like, that doesn't do us any good.
Yeah.
Right. Bashing the VA. We always talk about this. That's a government agency. You bash the VA. Great. I hate the VA right now. They have been screwing my shit up since I got out. But, you know, but like whining about it on a platform that's supposed to be support for each other isn't going to do any good. Right. It's just pointless.
Yeah.
And then it gets people all fired up. But yeah. That's that.
The key, real quick, the key to our platform, VTT official, and for anybody that's watching for you as well, it's like, that's like my favorite part of our entire company and our entire venture. Because there'll be a vet that'll go on there at 2 a.m, make a post, just tell us all that he's feeling a little off. Like he's going through some stuff. You know, we always say at VTT, get the demons out. And then literally the entire community will just spring into action. Yeah. And the comments will just start flowing. And then he'll talk about what kind of issue he's having. Like I've learned so much. Like I always say, I've taken so many tools and put it in my own kit bag, how to deal with, you know, restless nights, not being able to sleep, you know, anxiety, whatever it may be. And just the entire community springs into action. And we on record have saved lives. And for me, that's like, yeah. So not posting political stuff. And for the ones that don't like it, they can fucking bounce because you're not contributing to the mission.
There's
you know,
hundreds of pages out there where you can go yell about Trump or yell at Biden or
you can do that on Gruntworks a little bit, which is our company as well.
So,
you know, we got both companies, so
yeah.
All right. And
So
then,
I found VTT a couple of years ago, and I was going through a personal loss at that time, and I was really kind of like, you know, like in a cartoon when the eyeballs go, because I just one night went on there, brand new to the page, didn't know a lot about it, hadn't met these guys who now I call my brothers and sisters in the group, and I hadn't really spent a lot of time identifying with my veteran status over the decades that I've been out. But I just expressed that, hey, I've lost this, and I'm feeling really lost. I don't know what to do. And people just jumped in there immediately, and they were like, call me, or here's your resources, or do you have a therapist? And it wasn't like, oh, she needs therapy, she's freaking crazy. It was, hey, it was, well, now you know I am, but
we're aware, Monica, we're aware.
Yeah, now they really know. They've spent 24-hour periods with me, so yeah. But it wasn't like the typical crap that you get online, especially on a Facebook where people are hiding behind screens. And I did not get the typical male bashing on a female vet being weak type of stuff either. And that really was like, oh wow, this place is different. I want to be a part of this. And that was a couple of years ago, and that's how I got involved.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Monica. Yeah, and like to caveat off of what Dave said, so
it would behoove everybody to
listen. Right. No, we have that shirt line too. So
we do.
Veteran Trash Talk.
Check out our safety brief line.
Brief line. But what you learn, all right, and I always talk about how empathy is supposed to lead to action. It's not supposed to be sympathy, right? Sympathy leads to a hug, right? Empathy leads to we're going to do something about it. I've always said, and I'll stick to my guns to this, that true warfighters, whether it's a woman or man, don't give a flying fuck about ponytails. We don't give a shit about pronouns. We don't give a shit about fingernails. We don't like none of that. We don't care. Right?
As long as you can close with and destroy the enemy.
As long as you can do your fucking job, right? And as long as when you walk around with us, you don't make us look bad. All right, like your chest is up and out, your chin's up, like you're in step, like you're the army. Okay. And Bill always says this on the fight show. It's always some bro vet that was like, he spent 2 years in, probably got dishonorably discharged, has the grunt style t-shirt, and just trashes a woman with a ponytail. Right? Like, it's like, why? Like, who cares? Like, beards. I love my beard now. I didn't mind shaving every day. I didn't care, like, because that's what the rules were. Okay. My job was to be as strong and as fast as I could, which was faster than Dave, by the way. And so
3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
So
he ran an 11:02. I ran an 11:05 on the 2 mile.
So
3 fucking seconds.
Yeah. And then we smoked
rematch.
Yeah. And then we smoked cigarettes afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he'll beat me now. I got no knee left. So like, but yeah, what we did learn about women. All right. What we are still learning about female veterans, because we never had them in our formation. All right. And so when I kind of make fun of Women's History Month, I'm like, fuck cares about the month? Why aren't we celebrating what great women do all the time? Right. That's my personal take on it. But I'm not being open-minded to understanding that what women have went through for decades, right, and why they really appreciate that month. So it's like, yeah, I get it. All right. But I think that I'm already at the end state where the world needs to get to, where it's just like, yeah, there's like, oh, first Black female 2-star general in the Marine Corps. How about great leader pins her 2nd star?
I like what you were saying about the empathy and making change, because when I was in the military, I had my first child and I was attached to an all-male infantry, a light infantry battalion. So I was the only female in the battalion. I was pregnant and I pretty much hid my pregnancy to try to keep up with everyone and to avoid any negative backlash. I also wanted just to keep up. I didn't go to pregnancy PT. I didn't do any of those things. I got called off of maternity leave early. The commander called me and was like, why do you need 45 days? And at the time it was 45 days. Yeah. But I had a preemie because I was hiding my pregnancy pretty much. So anyways, I went back to work and then I went to air assault school very, very shortly. Now they have regulations in place. So there's been great change. Yeah. But back whenever I was there, I didn't stand up for any change and just kind of accepted it. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to air assault school. I guess I got to put my uniform on. I got to do all of these things after having a child. But there's been so many people since I've gotten out that have taken it beyond just bitching and complaining and made change. So now there is a requirement to do postpartum PT, you don't go to air assault school right after having a baby. There's been great change, and it's motivated me now to stand up a little bit further. And when things are happening to female veterans, just to kind of stand up and be like, okay, wait, we just had a baby. I should not be rappelling from an airplane right now. So
probably not a good idea.
And shout out to a couple officers in the 25th Infantry Division. I won't say them by name because they probably won't like it. And some of them are pretty high up now. They made infantry guys run the P3 PT, like the pregnancy PT. Right. And then they had obviously the master fitness trainers and the actual people there, but they were diversifying the guys. They were saying, look at why they have to do this. Right. So it's building them into better leaders so that when they're at first sergeant someday and some crazy person's like, why are we giving her this much time off? Shut up. Right.
Yeah. Do you want her to come back with injury, or do you want her to come back at 100%? Give her the time so she can come back at 100% and fully support the mission. You're going to damage her. I have, some back issues from carrying a baby in the front and then going to air assault school and carrying all this weight. And then I deployed to Afghanistan right afterwards. So, I think exactly what you said.
On that, Kasie, because even Dave hasn't been to Afghanistan.
I did Iraq twice
with my Jeju beer.
Cheers to you. Cheers.
Nice.
Eat rounds at Dave, but okay. Well, we've already heard Kasie talk, but now she gets to talk even more. That's the beautiful thing of what this has. Multiple things, and like I like to use the Carol Dweck mindset book of the complex system, right, where there's multiple things of VTT that are awesome, and there's multiple things that go into what stops and prevents veteran suicide, right? We're never going to actually stop it, but we can intervene and stop some. Okay. And part of that is employment. Okay. Part of that is seeing stories of people trying hard, seeing stories of people who failed and built resilience and overcame. And so I know a little bit about this because the pre-show, we talked about, how Kasie started a few companies that flopped. Maybe she'll get into it. And, she's on another one. And there's something that they never teach you in business school, which is that most startups fail. So like, why don't we start teaching kids how to handle that? Hey, you might need to try 3 or 4 different ones. Right. And then, keep the dream alive. Don't stop because the first time it went belly up. So Kasie does this weird thing called Sigma stuff, right? Us enlisted guys, we don't know what that means.
It's like a black belt too, or something, right?
It's like a Sigma black belt. So she had to break.
Oh my gosh.
I read
you
the
guys
bio.
cannot pitch my mission. You guys are not allowed to pitch Sigma forces. Okay.
So like what? Kung Fu, Taekwondo, karate.
Okay, no, you guys are all fired.
It's the Bad News Bears marketing team.
She had to break 3 boards, and then she was a Sigma purple belt.
Yeah,
fuck around. And
I got
find
my
out.
shirt
Everyone,
last week.
stop listening to them. Okay? You do not break boards.
Yeah. So in order to become a Sigma black belt, you have to break 3 boards, and then wash at least 3 fences, paint 3 fences, and wax 4 cars. But so that I've always heard about the Sigma 6 stuff.
God.
I never went through the training.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah, I always thought that. I always thought like it was like kind of like a Masonic thing, where Masons.
Ooh, Illuminati.
You're not supposed to know your Masons, but then they put stickers all over their cars and shit. And it's like, so
that's always
Kasie,
a good
tell
one. Yeah.
Tell us why you started a secret society, Sigma Black Belt board breaking company, and then talk a little bit about your service. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire, and it's a pleasure to have you on. What you got going on in the world?
Salute.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Let me just start out by saying you do not have to break any boards. It's not a secret society, but it kind of was.
That was
a
cool.
little bit elite like 5 years ago. Okay, but the job market has become so competitive now that even having a master's degree, an undergraduate degree, master's degree, military experience, job experience is almost not good enough. And if you go to apply for jobs at these big tech companies or these bigger organizations, one of the very first things they're asking is, are you Scrum qualified? Are you Lean Six Sigma or Sigma qualified? And if you can't answer that you are and provide that credential, you can't even move forward with the application process. So now it's becoming you have to be even more competitive to advance in your career. And so what happened with me is I was a veteran. I got out of the military with really no plan because I was married. I was kind of just going to be a military spouse, stay at home. That lasted like 30 days and I couldn't do it. I'm like, I have to go back to work. This is not for me, not for me. So I actually had a hard time finding employment. And I don't know if that's more because I was a veteran or because I was a military spouse, but I tried to start a business at that time. And then we relocated and I'm like, okay, now my business model is kind of to shit because my clients, it wasn't a portable business model. And so that kind of happened to me twice where being a military spouse, and we're moving all of the time. I had to come up with a really unique business model and venture. And which is good. I'm glad I failed at it, even though it was really hard to accept at the time, but it taught me everything I needed to know to do what I'm doing now.
Led you to where you're at now. Yep.
And it's legit portable. I'm in South Korea right now. So, and I started it out here. So I understand, the SOFA agreement. I took those flops that I had and I understand international law. And I just want to empower other military spouses because a lot of them and military families as a whole, they don't take these broadening assignments, these awesome assignments to go overseas and travel and explore the world, which is a huge perk of being in the military, honestly. They either choose to go alone without their spouse because they don't want their spouse to lose their job, or they decline the position altogether, or they get out of the military when they don't need to. You can take, if you have a portable career or the law, the SOFA agreements, the A3 visa, all of the things that support you as a military spouse to work overseas. If you understand that and advocate for yourself, you can take your career with you. You don't have to break up your family. You don't have to get out of the military. You can go overseas. You can travel the world. Take it. This is like such a huge perk of being in the military. They're paying for my kids to go to international school. Each kid's $25,000 a year for top education.
Be a good
I mean,
USAREC commercial right here. I mean,
yeah.
There you go. That's 2 plugs today already. God.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Let me plug mine. Hold on. Let me regroup.
Yeah.
Okay, Sigma Forces. Okay, you don't have to punch through boards, but anything I've learned is that you have to be more competitive now in the market, right? So because whenever I moved to South Korea, I fell into those common statistics of being unemployed, underemployed. I've always been underpaid since I got out of the military, which whatever, I'm usually supporting a mission I love and I don't mind it, but it is a fact. I'm very underpaid for what I bring to the table. And so I started taking these certifications. As soon as I put them on my LinkedIn profile, I had recruiters from Amazon and Meta and reach out to me, brought me all the way through job offers. I was weighing the 2 job offers, and then everyone got laid off last month. And so then I was like, well, holy shit, now this is like a whole new hurdle that I have to think of. Like, this is my time to try to do another business, even though I didn't tell anyone because I was so afraid, because I had failed before. I was like, you know, my mom, my husband, they're going to think, okay, here's Kasie again with another brainchild that she's trying to birth. And
That negativity. Just
yeah, I was so afraid. And actually the way my husband found out I started this, this was funny. I was studying for my black belt and all my certifications. He's like, oh, I need to get into, you know, I was breaking boards basically back here. No, but he's like, I need to get into green belt. So I signed him up for the green belt. And then he got the email and he's like, wait, you're the instructor? I'm like, no, actually I'm the owner of the company. He's like, oh wait, when did that happen?
nice.
So that's how my husband found out, which was really funny. But anyway, so yeah, so I started Sigma Forces. It's a globally accredited training provider for Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, Scrum, a whole line of marketing and sales. And as a training provider, it does not cost me money to offer like yellow belt, a lot of courses for free. And so I have those on the site for free, and it's pissing people off. And, you know, I won't say too much about it, but that's what I was mentioning earlier about being bullied a little bit, because I am keeping these courses for free. That will not change. And I just partnered with Boots to Books, which is another great nonprofit military organization. And I'm going to be their like exclusive training provider, which is exactly what I wanted to do with this. I want to support all of these military organizations who are trying to provide training for their community members to upskill and bridge the gap between unemployment, which does go back into mental health and feeling satisfied and having a behavioral health and
having a purpose,
feeling like
having
you have a
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
So
want to trigger everybody.
Wow.
yeah, I think I covered everything. I'm going to take a drink.
There you go. Yeah.
So would you-
We got some follow-up questions. What's the website that people can go to? I know you sent it to me, but what is the website? And then
So-
Chris, if you can put it in VTT, I'll put it on Gruntworks.
So it's sigmaforces.com. And I also on the Facebook page or the LinkedIn, I'm more active on LinkedIn. So if you could find me on LinkedIn, that would be best. I put the giveaway so we can give away a course today.
Yep.
I put that
Nice.
QRC up there, the link to sign up for the giveaway. And through these partnerships I mentioned, like Boots to Books, we're going to give away as many free courses. And eventually I want to be able to make all of these for free. Right now I can't, because as a training provider, it does cost me money to give access to the exams, to get the digital badging, the certificate, the proctored exam. But my goal is to get it for free. And then my ultimate goal is to create this and let it grow so big that I actually hire military spouses. They can be anywhere in the world. I don't care where they're at. It's a very portable career, especially for educators, because a lot of military spouses that are teachers, educators, every time they move, they lose their job essentially and have to get a new licensing. Like that doesn't apply here. So
I don't even
lots
know if my
of goals.
wife's watching right now. She's a teacher. But like, yeah, the same thing is, you know, we took a assignment to Hawaii, which who doesn't want to take that, you know, and, you know, here's your USAREC plug, Dave. Like, you know, you guys take those things, and then obviously if you have a spouse, like find a way for them to take advantage of that deployment, right? That assignment. So Becky loves the ocean, you know, she's from LA, and it's like, go get a marine biology degree from UH. Use my GI Bill. So now she gets to go to like and it's not misogynistic. I didn't get her degree, right? She got it all herself.
Damn right she did.
It, but it was the freaking army that provided that chance for her.
Yep.
And she crushed that chance. And now she got to go like snorkel and collect data for like National Geographic, all kinds of stuff. You know, it's like, so you're 100% right about that. Here's my question.
Well, real quick in the chat,
sorry,
Julian says, I am following you and I love your mission. I'm trying to get the Scrum Master as well. So
you can start out with Scrum Fundament. Go ahead and enter the giveaway, but the Scrum Fundamentals is free. So go ahead and start with the Fundamentals course. And as soon as I get off here, I'll get you set up in your student portal. So it's awesome. You're
there you
gonna
go,
have a
Julian.
student portal dedicated to you. We'll just build you up. As soon as you pass the exam, you'll get a digital badge, which is huge with optimizing your LinkedIn and getting noticed by recruiters.
So my question is when you reach the final level, right, of Sigma, right?
Then you have to break the board.
Right. I thought
there's got to be like
even if there are any boards, is there any type of ritual where you get to put on like robes? Like,
no, just a bumper sticker. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Sorry.
Robes and a sacrifice, a live sacrifice.
Something's got to happen, like a goat or something. Like there's got
eyes wide shut the whole way.
Yeah.
Eyes wide shut
together.
Yeah.
Like, but do we cut each other's palms and shake hands? No. I'm willing to do it if it gets me a job. All right, no, but here's the serious part of the question. For people who
I'm still scared.
Well, people like me, where I think I'm like the greatest thing ever, and I walk around and I see like Sigma forces on some of my, you know, the DA civilians usually had them at like the Sergeant Major's Academy. So I'm like, fuck is Sigma forces? You know, like what the hell is that, right? What does that benefit, you know, a service member or a spouse to get that certification? What does it mean? Because there's, like I said, there's probably gonna be 1,000 people that watch this show that are like, cool. What is it? What does it mean to get that certification?
Yeah, well, so when I got out of the military, I thought I was highly qualified and landing a job would be no problem. And what I mentioned earlier about when I went to go to apply to the jobs that I wanted, like in program management or supply chain or any of these jobs, they're asking me about these foreign certificates I'd never heard about. And that's what their organization is using company-wide. And that's the language they use. Those are the methodologies they use to run their business. So they want to make sure that you already have that understanding of that methodology. So if you know you want to work at Meta, you know that you want to do X job, go find that job application and see what the requirement is. Usually they will say on there, we were looking for a Scrum Master. We are looking for someone with a Lean Six Sigma green belt. They're going to say that on the job description.
Yeah, Sarah in the chat is asking, are these IT certifications?
There's no IT certifications. What we have is all the Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. There's a whole line of marketing. And I'm going to add like 20 more courses. I just literally launched this 2 weeks ago. I just haven't been able to get them all on there. A lot of marketing and corporate sales, negotiation, SEO, a lot of those. No, I don't have any IT yet. But another thing too, it helps with applying and interviewing skills, because a lot of veterans and military spouses, you'll notice when you get on the job interview, you don't have the right language to describe what you're doing. So you kind of undersell yourself because you're trying to describe how you manage a program or manage a project or accomplish tasks, but you're not using the language and the terms that like really catch their attention. And when you go through this training, even if it's not a requirement to apply to the job, you're going to learn how to describe why you're qualified and why you're awesome. Basically, you'll know. That's what I noticed when I first went through the training. I'm like, I already kind of manage projects like this, but I wouldn't have described it this way. I wouldn't have said these phrases or named this methodology. And then when I went on the interviews, after taking the training, I just referenced them. I'm like, oh yeah, I used the DMAIC process and that's how I manage my program. And they were just like blown away. And then you get past the interview.
See, it's like the Masons. That's why they took the fingers out of the DA photos. So if you put the ring on, if you put the ring on, everybody knows who you are, right? And so like if you just say that key phrase in the interview, it's like,
oh yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Kasie,
So would you say
it's so important.
Oh, go ahead, Monica. Go ahead.
So I got out in 99 and I didn't really tell anyone I was a veteran. I didn't even put it on my resume for a really long time. And I wound up a few decades later actually getting some jobs because I was a veteran. I wound up as a project manager for the Institute of Creative Technologies at USC, whose entire fund came from Army grants. And I spoke Army, and I wasn't afraid to speak to the chain of command on behalf of USC. So I actually got that job because I had my Army background and because I was a project manager. But I didn't know how to talk about it. So it's so important. You know, you're young and afraid or intimidated by the real world. Yeah, or even being discriminated because of it, or people think you're I don't want to go so far as saying, stuff that happened to the Vietnam vets that definitely didn't happen to me or anyone on this panel, but you get the sort of baby killer attitude,
right.
From the employment world. So it really is
you are like
important to know
triggering
how
a
to
lot
say
for
it.
me right now.
No,
like,
good. Send it, Kasie, because I was going to say something.
Send it, yeah.
You.
Yeah. Okay. So this is so important. I don't know. Do you have a lot of military spouses who watch this show, or at least the service members can share it with their spouse?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So here's the trick. Okay. You're right, Monica. A lot of people hide the fact that they're a military spouse. I did this myself. When I first started applying for jobs, I tried to make it a secret because you do get discriminated, or you feel that you do.
Right.
But here's the thing. Share that you're a military spouse, but you have to understand that and share this. This is what I would respond to recruiters in my email. I would say, hey, did you know that there's the Military Spouse Residency Relief Act? My permanent address is Florida. I always file taxes in Florida. This doesn't require any extra admin work on your end. You have to sell yourself and know why you're a benefit to the organization. So we have that act protecting us. They're passing the Military Spouse Hiring Act. So they can get up to $2,400 just by hiring you. So share that with them. If you're double tapping and you're a veteran,
what was that one called again?
So right now, they're passing, they're reviewing the Military Spouse Hiring Act, which is similar to the Veteran Hiring Act, which is up to $9,000. So you have to know that you do not hide that you're a veteran or a spouse. You need to know why they should hire you. So you fall into these tax credits that can give them up to $11,000 just by hiring you. So there's that. Sell them with that. Let them know if you're overseas, let them know that if your country has a supportive SOFA, and say that it doesn't affect you at all. If anything, it improves your service hours. That's how it's benefited us. I'm like, well, we could talk at 11 p.m. your time. That's only 8 a.m. my time. So it actually helped all of the missions I've supported since being over here.
So
but then another thing,
spouses that are watching, VTT is hiring, okay? Because I'm like, right, Nick?
Well, we got to.
I'm obviously joking. I'm obviously joking.
We got to make enough money to justify the tax break.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, companies are like, well, how do we mail you our laptops and all of our stuff? Well, we have an APO address. The second we get over here, which you have an APO address. It's a secured U.S. authorized mailing system. We have an APO address. We have an A3 visa. We can come in and out of the country. There's no limitations. And you just have to make all of that information available to the recruiter and the hiring team. So they're not scared, but they're actually like enticed.
Another thing companies don't know about as well with those, both the act for the 9,000, if you're 100% service connected disabled, the company gets to write off $80,000 in your salary.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that.
80,000
for
one veteran.
Yes, one person. So it's like, because
is that state dependent, Nick? Or
no? If you're 100%
general?
Service connected, you can file for disabled Social Security, right? So what the government wants to do is not spend that money. So they'd rather have a company hire you and let the company write off. I know it's $45,000. Sorry, $45,000 of your salary is a tax write-off if you're 100% service connected. So it's like there's things that, like you're saying, Kasie, that if you put it into your resume, if you put it into your your answer, hey, by the way, if you hire me, right, my first 45 G's tax write-off on top of the already wages expenses, and I mean salary expenses and stuff like that. So that's no, this is, like I said, this is a really cool conversation. And when you reached out to me on LinkedIn, I was really excited to have you on, because I also hear people now that I've only been out since April. So I hear people that are like, you have to get out of the military life as fast as possible. Like, you have to like get into the corporate world and understand it. Like, because they will chew you up and spit you out. Right. Yeah. But like, not like the Army does, not like, the service does. What are your thoughts on that, to where you use your military to get hired, but what does the Sigma teach you to like broaden you outside of the military, if that makes sense? Is that an appropriate question?
I think so. Basically, a lot of veterans don't know how to write their resumes. They don't know how to do the interview skills. It teaches you language. It teaches you how to talk about it. You're going to realize when you go through the training, you're already probably working through problems similarly, but it's going to give you new language that you need to replace your old language with. And so you have to be able to talk to your civilian counterparts now. And right now, I think that's where the problem is we don't know how to communicate our accomplishments and our experience in a way that they can understand. So they undervalue you. And, when you're going up for a job where your competition, they've been say for example, whenever I was applying for jobs, I was in the military for 8 years. My competition were people who have been in the industry for 8 years. They've been talking the language, they've been interviewing. They sound, even though I probably worked harder, I was more loyal, committed, I couldn't explain myself and be understood. And that is honestly the biggest and only hurdle I see. And then adapting to your new team. So say you get past that interview and they believe in you, and they hired you because they think they're going to get that $9,000. Then you have to learn how to work with your team and communicate with your team. So either way, I think it's important that you understand what type of process management, project management, the language that your team's using. You have to learn to speak it. They're not going to learn how to. It doesn't make sense for that entire organization to learn you.
Very nice. So Keith Bach, old Sergeant Major Bach, just signed on. He's a Command Star Major 101st. He's getting out soon, so that's probably why he just got in here. But I know he just got his MBA from Washington State, so congrats on that, homie. But awesome. Yeah, this was a tremendous episode, and we'd like to have you on again, probably once your company gets running a little bit more. And then anything that you want to do on our page, just send it to me, Dave, or Monica, and we'll put it out on the page. Heck yeah. And we'll help build you up as much as we can. Right? That some people have a lot of success on our page, some people don't have any success on our page. So like we'll throw it out there and do that. So quick AAR from the Big Earl. All right. We talked about aliens. Again, Dave. All right, I was having fun with the Kandahar Giant stuff, but I mean, I think
we can talk about him again. That was a good one. Well, I actually want to talk about what you brought up earlier.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We should bring her on again just to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think the Kandahar Giant was actually Bill.
Yeah, so. Bill is Kandahar Giant. Yeah. So, which right now he keeps texting me, not knowing that we're live right now, about how good how good we're doing on UFC bets. So if you didn't watch our show on Friday and you didn't bet on us, you're losing money again. All right, because these guys are really good. Before I go back into the AR, Kasie, what did you do in the Army?
I was a logistics officer.
And where'd you go to school?
University of Central Florida in Orlando.
Oh, a little UCF. All right, there you go.
Yeah, go Knights.
So yeah, not quite UTEP. Just saying. And if Buddy was on, not quite Austin P. All right, like
yeah.
Oh, settle down, Monica. But I
I can't tell Monica to sell down. I forgot. But no, Monica, thank you for coming on as well as a host. We love you.
Thanks for having me.
Again, look up VTT's 08254 cable, and like again, what she talks about is real, right? And we're all guilty of it. All right. I'm not being a hypocrite. I sometimes put people down when I shouldn't, right? Like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, right? Like, maybe I should have opened up a little bit more. All right. Understand that our page, our group, is to help everyone. Okay. And everyone's different. So if you don't have a say in this fight, or you don't have some way to help people in that conversation, just scroll to another one, because there's enough posts on our page that you'll find something that you'll find something that fits you. So good job on that soapbox, Monica. And then we learned that Sigma black belts do not break boards. Even though it would have been a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, I'm actually really like not excited anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should have her back.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, but
We do wear black dresses though.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
Are you allowed
And
to say
nails.
that? So we have to edit that out. I don't know, a secret society, but no, we if you're a veteran, if you're a spouse, if you're getting out, make yourself marketable. All right. And Kasie has the venue for that. Go on there, enter the program. She's giving a giveaway for it. Like, just go enter it. Maybe you win it. All right. And go make yourself hireable, because I was sergeant major. Great. Sweet. You know, like, the corporate world's going to chew you up and spit you out. Right. Find a way to make yourself marketable. Know the language. And I do have to pat myself on the back. All right. I did it on LinkedIn. I am now a master. Okay. I am a master in leadership studies. All right. So from the University of Texas, El Paso, which is,
Cheers.
you know, which
Cheers,
is,
Nick.
which is the
Cheers.
Yale, which is the Yale to Southwest. All right. So cheers, you know, but like Monica said, and like Kasie said, what I learned, and people ask me that, why did you go to school knowing you didn't really need another degree? I was like, I was always curious as to why Dave was a good leader. I was always curious to why some people called me a good leader, right? Why? Right? Like, what was I doing?
Actually,
Right?
science behind it.
There's
Yeah.
actual science behind it. And then like Kasie says, when you learn Sigma, you learn the language. You learn to say why I'm going to do this, right? Because the guy or girl that's running the company probably already knows that, or has a new invention that needs somebody like you to explain how we're going to get the team to do what that person wants to do. Right. And so it's a complex system, like we talked about earlier, and it revolves around leadership. It revolves around being a good person, being empathetic, and then learning. Okay. So go learn as much as you can. And I don't think, I'll turn over to you, Dave, real quick. I don't think Paul is Sigma certified.
Probably
So
not. I know he's watching the show. We might have to have that conversation with him
probably
and
have to
Candace
find
later.
out about that. If Candace and Paul aren't certified, we might just have to cut the 26th and 27th out. Like,
We're going over there later, so
Yeah,
we'll have to give you a call.
to figure that out. But Kasie, pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you
listening
for
to
having me
stuff.
so much.
Any final
And
words,
next time I want to
Kasie?
talk about Balenciaga. I told
Well,
you I was
we can- I mean,
disappointed.
No, we'll bring you on
we
as
did
a
not
guest
talk
host.
about
We'll bring you on as a-
Balenciaga.
we'll bring you
Well,
on
if
as
you
a
want to
guest
talk,
host.
we got five more minutes.
We got about five, but Chris has
Yeah,
to
go ahead. Go ahead. Let's talk
No,
about it.
Okay, like I was upset because that is very relevant. Okay. They did not add any special effects to try to convince me. It was all there. Okay. So they did a marketing advertisement and there were so many clues to, I don't know what you want to call it, a secret society. That's the real secret society. Sigma is not the secret society. They're the secret society. And I'm curious. I want to know because I saw it. It stood out to me before anybody else even pointed it out. I didn't see the paperwork. And I forget what was
I know
the
in that
paperwork
picture,
of?
specifically,
the
like,
paperwork
can
of?
we child pornography or something
That
that
was
we're
the
allowed to
paperwork?
show?
Here
Yeah,
we
the
go.
little piece of paper that had
Yeah.
like that one. Yeah, They like put everything into plain sight.
Dave's
Like,
wearing a
this
Care
is
Bear shirt talking about child pornography. I can't see what could go wrong.
fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I can't.
No,
I can't
it's
see what
dude,
could
it's
go wrong.
insane. It's insane. You bring this up because, real quick,
It's got to be real quick.
the guy who was in charge of the photographer or whatever, he runs his own warehouse that they do paintings and pictures. And just look up some of these fucking paintings that are readily available. He's from France, right? He's a French painter or whatever, but he's owns part of the company. And when they asked the main owner, they're like, well, I don't really know what he does on his spare time. He's part of your fucking company, and his shit is all over like the internet. Just like look it up. It is disgusting.
He doesn't swear that much, so that's weird. You got
it. No, it gets
and
me.
this isn't the only time.
That's why she's bringing this up, because it is fucking.
Nope, that's another one,
dude. Yeah, there's another.
This isn't the only advertisement that has been wrong. It's been a long history, and the people they're employing, their side gigs are like really shady.
And I've been in corporate America long enough to know.
Candace says, "I'm so lost." David Trenton, I'm sure you will fill me in. Candace, I will fill you in. It's the Valenti.
Well, she's not a black belt, so we don't really need to talk to her.
Long enough to know that
Candace
there's
is G2. Yeah,
so many committees and executives and teams that have to look through this stuff before it makes it to the front facing public, that it's insulting and embarrassing.
Pictures were out for one day.
That was their defense.
Did you see the photo
Let's
shoot?
talk about it next week.
That's not a defense.
We'll
that's a
Kasie
guilt.
back on if she wants.
Yeah, because we need to talk about that was their defense. Why it slipped through the cracks is that the people reviewed it. The team. No. You're right, Monica. There's so many people.
That's actually the opposite of a defense.
We need a full episode.
That's like, that means you fucked up on so many levels to get
there.
They
didn't fuck up though. That's what they wanted.
Yes.
I'm about to get canceled. Oh God, I'm gonna have more bullies.
Stop. No. I was in Signal. We always said sanitize the area when somebody that didn't have a TS came through. Sanitize.
Shout out to Elon Musk too. If we're gonna get canceled, we might as well get canceled the right way. Elon, we love you.
Yeah, baby.
We love what you did with Twitter.
Hey, Kasie, before we give you the last word, so then Dave will close us out. So technically, Dave gets the last word, but she can have the last word.
You don't want my last word.
But Dave
closes, too many F-bombs
Dave closes the show out. But behind me, again, you see Quantum State Realty. All right. If Dave's gonna get a pool, all right, his wife makes all the money. So go here, all right, and call her. She's gonna help you out with a VA loan and all that kind of stuff, or whatever loan it is. So call Megan, gonna help you out.
All right, thank you.
A beautiful house too. She's a G.
We're looking for one. We're about to move back
stateside.
Where you
going?
I think Tampa.
We got you covered. We got agents in Tampa too. Yeah, we'll get you covered.
Okay, cool.
So go to our website and you'll see her link on there. And then
hit me up on Facebook. Add me on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, we'll get you squared away. Anyway, phenomenal show, man. That was a lot of fun, man. That was. I really want to talk more conspiracies right now, but we should probably just let it go.
We'll let Chris get out of here.
Monica, thanks for coming on, as always.
Thank you.
Boss,
Kasie, great stuff. I love what you're doing for the community and giving back, because I think that a lot of stuff you talked about is extremely important for the transition piece and jumping into the civilian sector and then being like either getting punched in the face or being able to maneuver through it and figure it the fuck out. So great job on that. For those of you who just tuned in, make sure you go to veterantrashtalk.com. Has all our links. Go to YouTube, watch the video again, watch it on Facebook again. After this, we are posting a link, right, Nick, for the Pineapple Express. All right, they have shows going on in every state. So if you want to sign up for one of the shows and go see
support
them,
it, donate,
or
to
support
it,
it, donate to it. Check out the link. I love all of you. We will see you next Saturday. I'm out.